not. Indeed. And greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you so much for joining me again on what is a little bit of a cloudy day. It actually rained so much last night, so it's kind of humid. It's not warm, but it's definitely not cold. It's just nice. Thank you for joining me on this nice day, friends. I appreciate you sharing this space with me. It's day 1 of Sober October. I want to say it has been difficult today, but it hasn't been difficult because of being sober. It's just been difficult because of not eating food. Like, it's so interesting how things we think we're addicted to, or the things we think we want, happens more so, by a pattern or something that you're used to doing. Like, you wake up, you go and get yourself something to eat, you do this, and then you do that, and then this, and this, and then as soon as you stop doing those things, then you find yourself in this space of like, oh, okay, so it's not so much that it's not so much that I want to eat food, but now I don't know what to do with myself. What am I supposed to do if I'm not eating food? And I was like, well, technically you can dedicate all of those mental resources to now thinking about other things other than food. And I was like, you know what? I don't think that's a bad idea. Oh, thank you, Sing the Damn Song. It's so nice of you to come here, share some heartwarming vibes. I appreciate you. To you friends who don't know, Sing the Damn Song is also a streamer friend here on our pan. Absolutely beautiful person. Streams his kitties. Just like a blessing to be with. Melita, thank you for joining me as well, my friend. Again, good morning to you, Sing the Damn Song. Carmelia, hello to you, my friend. I was actually thinking about you yesterday. How have you been, my friend? How's life been treating you? Thank you for joining us. Hello, dear friends. Jasmine, it's nice to have you here as well, my friend. How have you been? It's been a while. Looks like a nice day out there in South Africa. It's super cloudy, so I kind of came and sit in the middle of the garden again. I'm betting on no wind noise. But, the light is nice and diffused. Casting some shadows, but I'll deal with it. The first fasting day is the hardest. You'll feel a lot better tomorrow. You're right. For me, I'm usually like day 1 and 2, as you're saying as well, is the hardest. And then day 3, day 4 is when it kind of becomes easier. I think the biggest problem is the fact that I want to do it for the entire month. Like, I'm getting cold feet while putting my feet in the kiddies pool at the moment. That's what's happening. And I'm like, no. Not just yet. Good morning, friends. Cody, thank you for joining me, my friend. I was actually thinking about you just as I sat down as well, about your thing we were saying yesterday. I do want to read a thing we were saying as well before we get really into it. Guess who is a legal adult? Oh, Lane, is it your birthday, dude? I think so. I guess that would be pretty nondescript if this is like some other person who is not a legal adult. Dude, happy birthday, Lane. Happy freaking birthday to you, man. Oh, congratulations. Officially 18 years old. You can officially go to prison and get signed up to Dine War. Hee-haw. Dalton, I love you, dude. Thank you so much for being here with us on this planet at this point. Thank you for sharing this time with us as well. Happy birthday, dude. Happy freaking birthday. Lane, welcome to the club, my friend. The adults club. My dad just came back. I'll give him a little bit of a wave. He doesn't see me. I'll try again. He doesn't see me. Okay. I tried. I did try, right? You can vouch for me. I did try. Happy birthday, brother. May your inner child always live on. Beautifully said. I agree completely. And thank you, Toasty, for joining me as well. Happy October and happy Friday, friends. Same to you. Thank you, Edmund, for sharing the space with us, my man. Hello, I'm curious. What's in the book? Oh, Sky, the biggest secrets of the universe. You have to PayPal me $50 before I read. I'm joking. This little book is something I call Things Worth Saying. And it's just that. It's something that if I say it, I feel it was worth saying that thing. So every single time I heard from a book series called The Way of Knowing, something that really resonated with me, made me feel something, I would, write it down. And today's thing worth saying, sky, if you will, is the infinite eternal stream of communication that occurs, there we go. Communication that occurs throughout creation, unobstructed, is lost to our awareness. Yet, so close are we. It requires only a thought to shift the momentum in a new direction. What an absolutely fantastic thing we're saying for today as well. Again? Sure. The infinite, eternal stream of communication that occurs throughout creation, unobstructed, is lost to our awareness. Yet, so close are we. It requires only a thought to shift the momentum in a new direction. Things worth saying, you feel. So, we're shifting of direction, if you will, with Sober October. Basically the last 9 months of me streaming has been kind of paired with me smoking as well. We did go through a while where I didn't smoke any because I thought that Reddit was banning my account as a result of it. Fortunately, I got to talk to one of the actual mods. It's not a problem. So we started smoking again. But now we're doing it intentionally. It's something that's more a choice rather than guess this is what's happening. And it is definitely something that I'm choosing, thoughtfully, if you will, to change my perception of what is. To, with a thought, shift my momentum into a different direction. It's so easy for us to kind of assume or predict even that we're going to be performing in different ways, worse or better, because we don't have access to these different things. And I caught myself in a weird place last night where I was thinking about how this basically all-encompassing fast is going to go. And I was thinking about, fasting with caffeine and fasting with cannabis, and how that is not really going to be something that bothers me. And how fasting with food, technically, if you fast for long enough, it starts to induce a different state of mind as well. And I found myself, again, almost gaming the system. Since I won't be able to smoke weed, guess I'm going to, fast for an entire month and then maybe get some sort of insight in doing so. And I was like, bruh, can you just relax? Can you just calm down? I feel it's that momentum that I'm aware of sometimes. And I want to try and fester it or put it in any other thing that I can, instead of just realizing that I'm in the middle of that momentum. Shifting that momentum with only a thought. I did play with monkeys last night. A significant amount of monkeys. More monkeys than I anticipated. And it was a very surreal experience. The start of it, I spent meditating, kind of just looking inwards. Spent a lot of time looking inwards. And the only thing I could find, and interestingly enough, yesterday's stream actually came up in my mind. We were talking about freedom and our perceptions of freedom. And I heard something yesterday that goes, freedom starts as soon as you decide to take off the prisoner costume or outfit or attire. As soon as you stop identifying with, as soon as you stop dressing as a prisoner, you're free. It's this weird paradox of you're completely free to let yourself free, and yet we keep ourselves imprisoned. And I realized last night how so many different things in my life, I don't allow them to become prisons, but I accept them being prisons. Maybe that's the thing. It's like I want, for some reason, some sort of limitation to create underneath or to push into. Like if I create this cell wall for myself, then I have something to shake, if you will. And I'm trying to figure out, at least with inside of myself, how to stop that wanting to shake behavior. To be able to sit in the cell, if you will, and be content instead of shaking the bars. And then as soon as you become content, you realize you're no longer in the cell. It's so confusing, yes, yet it makes so much perfect sense, and yet it's so hard to implement, in a realistic manner. I'm curious, what's the book? I thought it was your birthday, Lane. Happy birthday, dude. Hey, Sensei. Good morning to you as well, my friend. A smile salute to you, my beloved friend. You friends know who Sensei is as well. Also, another beloved streamer friend. Tis his birthday. Again, Lane, just happy birthday, my dude. Happy Spooktober to you as well, Toasty. Hap biffed? Hop biffed? Happy birthday, I guess. Very time efficient, let's say, Sensei. How much and what are you going to do with all of that time you saved? I have court to get custody of my older 2 kids in 5 days. I have a lawyer. He does not. I'm super nervous though. Scarmelia, I wish you so much luck, my friend. I'm sure everything will turn out okay. I'm sorry that you have to go through those processes. I can't think that it would be fun or comfortable for anyone to do that. But I know you're strong. I know you're loving. I'm sure your kids will see the love as well. What are you abstaining from? I'm abstaining from pornography, which I have for about a few weeks now. I'm abstaining from caffeine. I'm abstaining from alcohol, obviously. I'm abstaining from cannabis. I am abstaining from sugar. I'm technically now abstaining from food as well, but I'll see if I go for the entire month from abstaining from food. But yeah, it's like basically a dopamine fast in all of the ways. I'm curious if I want to dopamine fast with my technology as well. Maybe. You know what? To abstinence. I'll take a sip of that. You're like, what, Melt? Are you drinking absinthe? No. Abstinence. Yeah, happy birthday. What's your plans for the day? I'm curious as well, Lane. Happy Spooktober, everyone, and happy birthday, Lane. Thank you so much, Aiden. I know what you look like now, dude. You have such a smiling face now every time I read your messages, dude. Thank you so much for being here with us. None whatsoever. I'm just sitting at my usual chill spot and writing music. Other than that, excuse me, I'm not doing anything special. You are the something that is special, Lane. I hope you know that. I hope you get treated as being special, because you are. I hope you get celebrated, man. If not, we're here to celebrate you. You're so chipper today, Mel. I'm feeling good. I'm definitely feeling good, Toasty. I'm excited for what's to come. I'm excited for how my neurology is going to change, as a result of this. I'm excited to see, because, okay, let me give you some context as to why I'm excited. When I went to China, I basically went after not smoking weed for 2 years straight. So literally daily smoking for 2 years straight by the time I went to China. And I knew, upon reading as well, that not only is weed illegal in China, but they go as far as to execute people that are selling. So if you sell someone bud and the police know about that, you literally can get executed. And I was like, so I can either, one, cease smoking weed for my duration in China. That's option 1. Or option 2, I can continue trying to source weed in a country where it's extremely illegal. And then while doing so, I'll also put someone else's life in danger in doing so. So it wasn't that hard of a decision for me to make. So I completely opted out. And interestingly enough, during the first few weeks of me abstaining from cannabis, well, not having access, rather, I should say, I instantly started to have very hectic dreams. I also happened to get what they call China flu as soon as you land in China and start to interact with all of the other people, there's some sort of virulent, I don't know how to say that word, virulent strain of like the flus there in China, and it's very local to China, if you will. So as soon as you get there, basically every single foreigner that goes there gets it. So while I was like, if you will, purging, going through, I didn't have any withdrawals or any discomfort, but as my body was working all of the cannabinoids it had inside of it out, I was also super sick. So this sickness attached with these vivid dreams created such a weird sense of consciousness for me. Every single time I would wake up, I would be like, what the fuck? Like every single time. And then on top of being like, I would also be snot-nosed, and like I'd feel like my eyes are swollen and my throat is like scratchy. So it definitely wasn't necessarily a very fun experience. And then as I exited that, like maybe this is just a placebo effect, if you will, but as I exited that both brain fog of the sickness plus being purged from, smoking cannabis for 2 years, I felt extremely sharp, like sharper than I felt ever in my life, if you will. And instantly it created an extreme sense of disconnection between me and my coworkers as well, because I don't drink, even if I have access to alcohol, I'll drink a beer. I won't drink myself until I'm intoxicated, because it's not something I particularly enjoy, and I don't like losing brain cells, and I enjoy my liver functioning properly, and I like my inhibitions. Really like my inhibitions. So with that, I was a little bit separated from my co-workers, and then also with this sharpness, if you will, I felt like I couldn't communicate effectively or properly about the things that I wanted to say because people didn't want to hear it. Now, however, I'm curious as to if that is going to return, that sharpness, if you will. I didn't do it attached with fasting, so I will see how that works. But I hope again that some of that sharpness will come back a little bit. Interestingly enough, and I don't want to toot my own horn, maybe I'll toot your horns, friends. Intelligent people are more likely to partake of, substances. It's actually proven. We have some sort of fascination of the way our minds work, and then we want to explore even more of that. You're smart, my friend. Very, very smart. I do have the weekend off of work, though. That sounds amazing. I'm so happy to hear that, Lane. You deserve some time for yourself as well, my dude. Oh, I'm happy you appreciate it, Sky. Sounds pretty special to me. It really does. Aaron, thank you for joining us, my beloved friend. How are you doing? How have you been? You've been sick. I hope you've been feeling a little bit better. Voice is not coming. It's probably just muted, my friend. There's a button down here that you can press to unmute me. I hope you find it, or I hope one of our friends teach you how to. Only the goodest vibes today, Testy. This guy was good on rocks. Was good on rocks. Was good on rocks. Like, for some reason, the way I interpret that message, Dr. Slizenstein, I like your name, is not so much that I am using rocks, like, I think people call meth rocks as well, but I'm imagining myself as Meltmore being porn. Poured? Porn? I don't know if that's the right word. Being poured over, like, ice. So, this guy works on rocks. Yes. Take sips of me. Put the Meltmore with the ice. We're not sure how long it's going to stay stable, but thank you, Fred. I love you still. Voice is not coming. Happy birthday, bro. Smile. Brava. I'm trying to, dude. Indeed it does. Happy accountant. It's so nice to see you as well, my friend. Were yo Lane's making things. Only a thought to shift the momentum in a new direction. I love it. I love you, Cody. Thank you for listening and for being receptive of that as well, my friend. The way I interpret that, only a thought to shift momentum, is with this understanding that we have access to so much, like so much. And yet the way for us to access it is with a single thought. Like, you and me as well, is not any further away from you than a single thought. And I like to think about this very weirdly as well. Like, when you think about someone, you think about a bunch of different things. You think about the way they speak sometimes, the way their mannerisms, the way they behave, the way they look, the way they, carry themselves, if you will. There is this whole beingness in your mind as soon as you think about someone. And the way I think about that is not so much as oh, you're just thinking about the person, but I almost feel like it's a rendering or a simulation of that person within your mindscape. That person still exists, and their power is still present within the all, which you are a part of as well. And yet, when you, I want to say, invoke them with a memory, with a thought, you're basically creating an instance in which you two are together. He might not know about it, or she might not know about it, but in that instance, mentally maybe, you are together. And it doesn't just have to go for a person. We have access to that togetherness, all the time. And it's, as Cody just said as well, it's just a thought away. Where are you from? I'm from South Africa. Front page, Velte. Oh yeah, Uncle Becky. Must be why I'm already 11 minutes behind. I am sorry. I try and read every single one of them. I'll be there soon, friends. I love you so much. Thank you for sharing the space with me. And thank you for sharing the space with me as well, Uncle Becky. It's so nice to have you here, dude. Man, your stream yesterday was absolutely amazing. Like, I was, running myself out, if you will. The monkeys left eventually, but my mind didn't finish processing just yet. So I was like up until almost, like, I tried to go to sleep at 2 a.m., but I was still kind of tossing and turning up to like 3 a.m. So I didn't sleep enough. And it's like 2 a.m. and I'm like, and then I was like thinking about Aiden. And I was like, whoa. Aiden sent a photo on the Introduce Yourself channel. I want to go see what he looks like. So I take my phone out, I go onto Discord, I go into Introduce You channel. I see him, I'm like, yeah, this makes me happy. And then, I went directly onto Reddit at 2 a.m. in the morning. And then the first thing I see is Uncle Becky's stream. And I'm like, yes, this is exactly what I needed right now. I tuned into Uncle Becky's stream. I shared literally all of the love that I had to share. And then I opted to try and go to sleep again. Dude, thank you so much for creating. Always. Can you go help? 4. Yeah, our gooses now has babies. Gooses. Chantai, denk jy ek weet nie om Engels te praat nie?
Klink so.
Wil jy kom try? Yeah, like I'm gonna say gooses unironically. My sister's like geese. My sister is 14, so it does make sense. Started the sober October 2 weeks early. Worth it. I'm so proud of you, my friend. I'm so proud of you. I'm sure it's going to serve you well. I'm looking forward what's more to come as well. Imagine, says Sky, if God made man as a creation and we took over the world and now we are trying to create AI bots. I don't have to imagine that, my friend. That's literally what's happening. Except, I don't think God made humans as a creation, if you will, because that would indicate God used something external from itself to create us, right? If you make something, made humans as a creation, if you make something as a creation, you take, for instance, a piece of wood or a bunch of pieces of wood and you turn it into a chair. That is you making something. But that requires said material to be external from the self, yourself, if you will. Where God, at least my perception of it, isn't, able to be separate from itself. So in that same breath, you, friend, are as God. A perception of it, a temporary expression of it. And in that expression, we're also pushing to make artificial intelligent machines. AI bots, if you will. It's a part of the process. It's us, or consciousness, if you will, I would rather say. Consciousness pushing for more consciousness. And if you look at the rules of the universe, it kind of follows the whole do as much as possible with as little energy as possible. So if we can figure out how to make super intelligent machines, and those super intelligent machines teach us how to make super intelligent machines that uses less electricity, and we get it to the point where it's more efficient than the human brain to produce the same level of consciousness, if you will, then if you extrapolate that all the way up, you can Dyson sphere entire planets or entire solar systems or stars, if you will, and you can basically use that energy to render or produce some sort of consciousness. And the amount of vastness that that consciousness would contain, with the amount of energy that you would have to use, would be more significant in consciousness and less significant in energy consumption than the way we as humans are experiencing consciousness right now, if that makes any sense. I hope it does. So what that means to me is that not only is it inevitable that we're going to make super intelligent machines, but it is the preferred. It's what is supposed to happen. It's what the God mind wants, if you will. It keeps tending towards the singularity, and then it forgets what that is, and then it tries to get back to it again, over and over and over again. Singing? No, I'm not singing, oh snap. Fortunately, this is one of the few Reddit streams that is not music based. Hey Aaron, feeling better today? I hope so. Always a special day when a friend creates something. Oh, it is. Good morning, beautiful humans. I hope the day has met you well. Uncle Becky, thank you so much, my friend. I hope the day has met you well as well. And thank you again for sharing this space, dude. How have you been? How's Haywire Hill been? Has Bobby and Emma been? I'm curious, man. It feels like I'm out of the loop. Thank you for the helpful, Toasty, for the helpful as well, Everest. I appreciate your love, friends. Definitely still sick, but feeling a little bit better today. I'm so happy to hear that. Aaron, sending you so many more healing vibes. I must white knight on Reddit. It's my only cause. What does white knighting mean exactly? White knight is when you're like coming into defense of other people, right? But in a way that they don't necessarily need to be defended. I think that's what it is. I'm not exactly sure. Like if someone is being attacked by someone else, then like verbally, I guess, and then you like step up and you're like white knighting. I'm really curious. I don't actually know. Let me know, friends. Good morning. Hey, Uncle Becky. Good morning to you as well, Lambda. Thank you for joining us. You look differently today, but I can't figure out what's different. Yes, this is definitely not one of my new clones. I mean bodies. Yeah, no, I'm joking, dude. Probably my hair being pulled back. Maybe the trimmed beard. I don't know. Maybe you should stick around, watch every single stream. Then by the end of like 10,000 streams, you would be able to notice the smallest of nuances. I flick my eyebrow a little bit away and you can tell me a whole story of what I just thought. How would I white knight then? I'm also curious, dude. I don't know. I don't know how you white knight. I don't know, dude. Instead of white knighting, maybe just, be your own divine self. If you feel cold, if you genuinely feel cold, and you believe that the thing you're doing is out of love, then whatever that is, maybe that would be your white knight duties. I took on a 30-day salt fast some days ago. It was amazing to me how differently things tasted at the end of the fast. I enjoyed drinking V8 juice. I don't know what V8 juice is, unfortunately, before the fast and could not drink it after. That's really interesting, Jasmine. And I'm very fascinated by the fact that you did a salt fast. Because I actually, when I do fasts, I literally have to drink entire teaspoons of clean salt, just so that my muscles don't cramp up. Salt is a neurochemical essentiality. You need it, otherwise your brain cells don't fire. I'm really curious, Jasmine. No salt? Did you get cramps? Like, ooh, man, that sounds much to me. Like, I'm more comfortable with not eating food for 30 days than I'm comfortable not eating salt for 30 days. That's how, it's like crazy that sounds to me almost. Wow, looking fresh. A tippity hat to you. Thank you very much, linguist. I appreciate your love. Keyboard warriors unite! It's almost like we don't feel secure if we're not inside of a prison. Ooh, what a good point, Melita. What a good point. It's almost like we don't feel secure if we're not in a prison. Joke's on us. There's no such thing as secure. We're flying at 30 kilometers a second through space, while, flying basically in a spiral around our sun. Our star, technically, the sun. There's no such thing as secure. There is no... There's no such thing as secure, friends. We just have to realize that and maybe teach ourselves how to almost ease into that chaos in a way. Not in a destructive way, but in an acceptance of our impermanence way. Because if we accept our impermanence, life becomes a lot more visceral, a lot more present, if you will. If you truly understood that this life is not going to last forever, it reframes basically everything that you do. Can you do a backflip? I can do a backflip on a trampoline, but not still standing. Not still standing, unfortunately. Oh, a salt fast. That sounds difficult. I might have to try that. Like, do some research first, please, Jovan. Like, I've never heard about anybody doing that, actually. It's the first time I've heard of it. How can I become a better roommate and a better person? If you want to become a better roommate, do things that are completely selfless. If you find a washing basin, is that what you call it? Wasbach? I think so. A washing basin full of dirty dishes, then wash them, for your roommate. Like, man, it's difficult as well, dude. Like, I don't know. You have to give me some context. What are you doing right now, Lambda? Why do you consider yourself a bad person? Maybe that's the question you have to ask first. If you want to be a better person, I think identifying the things you feel is not indicative of what a better person would be. Identifying those and eliminating them first would be the first step into allowing yourself to be a better person. Talk about the monkeys more. You weren't scared? No. Fortunately, our animal friends don't scare me. They baffle me, both my intellect and my ability to articulate, but they don't scare me. Because at least in my opinion, every single time that I've had, experiences with animals, and like, to you friends who don't know, we call different, psychoactive compounds animals. So dimethyltryptamine will be dolphins, mushrooms would be monkeys, MDMA would be meerkats, LSD would be lions. So I'm not, like, at me personally, dude, no, that's not necessary, bro. Like, it's not something that scares me. I always do have, like, what you would call pre-trip anxiety, but it's not a fear response. It's more oh shit, here it comes type of response. It's like anticipation more than it is debilitation by it. I think most of the fear comes from the feeling of not knowing or not understanding what the hell is happening. And that is literally the default state of our existences. We have absolutely no fucking idea what's going on. Not really. We know how to utilize our resources. We've built insane empires, weapons, businesses, and yet we're still so monkey, dude. The same tribalism that was necessary 25 years ago, because if there was another tribe eating your resources, you had to go and either drive them away or kill them, because there was only X amount of resources. We didn't know how to plant things, we didn't know how to herd animals. We had to take care of our own through violence when we were primitive beings. Now we have abundance in pretty much everything. We have more than enough abundance to feed everyone on this planet. And we're still kind of wired to have this, angry monkey defends and destroys type of mentality. Instead, with the way we used to do it is with like taking a spear or a blunt object and going to the other tribe. Now we fly steel birds that shoot missiles, devastating entire cities, with a single weapon. Like that's weird, yo. That's not okay. That's very much not okay. And at least in my opinion, it just indicates to how little we know. We don't know anything. We don't understand the fundamentals of what is actually important. I don't think so, at least. Because if we did, we wouldn't be treating each other in the way we are, on a humanity level. I do think it's changing. And I do actually think psychedelics has something to do with that as well. Because it literally, it brings into the forefront of your mind, it confronts you with the understanding that you don't know shit. You don't know fuck all. Not even a little bit. And then you're like, oh, okay. Ooh. Ooh, okay. Maybe, just maybe, I should chillax. Maybe I don't know everything. Maybe listening to other people would be beneficial. Maybe, laying my ego to rest for a little bit would be something that's beneficial. But it's very difficult for so many people to get to that point, unfortunately. And some people are literally scared of it. What's so hard, Javad? The change in the way the change in the way the change in the way things taste was crazy, though. I can imagine. Like, I don't think I would necessarily enjoy food without any salt on them. That's crazy to me, Jasmine. That blows my mind. Love to all, can't stay, but rock on. Or, I don't know what that one means, actually. Anyway, love you too, Kira. Thank you for sharing the space with us, even for a second. What does abstaining mean? I don't know a lot of huge words. Abstaining means to not do something, friend. So if you abstain from anything, it means you're not going to go there, if you will. I thought he was a Brit until I unmuted. Little did you know, friend. Maybe my great-great-great-grandpappies were Brits. No, technically Germans and French people, but yeah, maybe even longer back than that. Woohoo! Throw the technology away and just be with nature. I'm not exactly sure I'm gonna throw it away, Melita, but I do feel like maybe I did actually do that for a while. I was just walking around looking at trees, kind of like spending some time in the overcast day. And I left my phone in my room as well, and I was definitely feeling into that nature of like not being constantly fed something, if you will. Like, I'm feeding it to myself, be it music or videos or posts. I fed myself with what is external instead. It can be very beneficial. You're right, Melita. Lol. Hello, particular income to you as well. It's nice to have you here. New people, Meltmore reads every single comment, every single one. Yeah, Sensei is right. I'm sorry, friends. I love you so, so much. Genuinely, thank you for sharing this space with me, for staying, and waiting for me to answer your comments. It means more than I can say. And thank you again, Sensei, for letting our friends know as well. Listen to yourself and other people. This is a great answer as well from Aiden on how to become a better person. Listen to yourself and other people. Communicate with yourself and other people. Put effort into yourself mentally, emotionally, and physically. That's usually what I found helps a lot. That's A fantastic answer, Aiden. Like, unfortunately, I thought that I would be able to back and forth with the person. Now I'm like 25 minutes separated from said person, but I agree completely. Communicating, like as you're saying as well, communicate with yourself and other people. And for me, again, coming back to what I said, communicating to yourself the things you feel need to change is already a step in the right direction because you're not being unaware of it. Abstain to restrain oneself from doing or enjoying something. Thank you, Cody. I appreciate you. I'm excited to go to work today. I love my job. Are you still doing your like little jellyfishies, Scarmelia? I'm actually curious, my friend. Exercise will be vital for the sober October to get rid of substances from the body faster. I've been doing that as well, actually. Like I'm kind of intimidated by the fact that I'm fasting as well, and I want to be exercising, but I am still doing pull-ups and push-ups and stuff. But I agree. I think it's going to be beneficial. Hold on to that. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm a scare actor at a haunted house who wouldn't love their job if their job is giving them therapy bills. By them, I mean customers. I get you, my friend. I mean, technically, they show up there themselves, so I don't think they would be that scarred. It's probably something they want, if anything. Scare actors are dope. I've thought about giving that a try at some point in the future. Do it! I mean, why not? Why not, Aiden? Doesn't have to be something you have to do forever. If anything, it can be a fantastic story for you to hold. Be right back. Gonna bolt skid paddles on the patch pants so I can make sparks. Excuse me? I'm gonna bolt skid panels on my patch pants so I can make sparks. Ooh, okay. So, is what you're saying, Aiden, that you're going to attach them like to this area? Patch pants, maybe like here, and then you're gonna run and do like the knee scrape, and then those are gonna make the sparks? I just imagine, and maybe I shouldn't imagine this, I'm sorry, Aiden. I'm not imagining you, I'm just imagining this scenario, okay? Just like these, like for instance, these melty pants just lighting on fire with all of the sparks flying from your knees. I might be completely wrong. Maybe they're supposed to spark as you walk. I'm so confused. I think it would be scary though. Maybe that would be the most terrifying thing. You see this image of this person who is sparking, be it, scraping on their knees towards you or as they're running. I would be terrified. I can kind of see it. Scarmelia, that's dope. Do you stream your makeup application? No, unfortunately I can't. They make us turn in our phones before getting into costume and makeup. Why? If you don't mind me asking, Scarmelia, I'm curious as to why they would do that. I think of a teddy bear when thinking of someone I know. That's beautiful as well, my friend. You still hold them in your heart, right? If you do that. I may start streaming after work on nights. I only get home at like midnight to show off my makeup though. That might be a plan, especially now that it is Spooktober, Scarmelia. Love to you as well, Kathy. We've missed you, my friend. Thank you so much for joining us. I think you have inspired me to partake in Sober October as well, friend. Thank you. Look! Thank you, friend. It's been so long. Send your mom my regards. Thank you for joining me on Sober October. We can support one another. And I'll be completely honest with you, friends, as well. That would be awesome. The Halloween mode deactivate stream. Yeah, right? I agree completely, actually, Jovan. Oh my goodness. Gooseberries. Goosey babies. I dare you to love one. Yeah, like I actually know about them because as I was talking about, as I was walking around, I walked past where they were laying their eggs and they had their babies, and there was like one baby outside from the rest of them, and then both of the moms that were like laying on the babies just did their cobra chicken thing. One of them was hitting his head against the floor as well while he was cobra chickening at me, like hitting his head. I'm like, okay, dude, like. I don't know if you're trying to intimidate me, maybe scare me, but I'm worried more about you, so I'm gonna leave you. So I'd like desperately want to go and touch one of those, babies, but I'm gonna get my ass handed to me, Jovan. But that's why you're like, I dare you to go and love one of them. Candace, thank you for joining us, my friend. It's so nice to have you here. How are you doing? How's the kids? Goosey babe. Aloha! Hey, Everest. Again, so nice to have you here, my friend. Man, struggling with starting sober October. I really like being high when I'm sick, but I'm sure that not smoking is going to be good for my body right now. I think so as well, Aaron. Interestingly enough, I also really like smoking weed when I'm sick. Like, it's something that's almost, I believe, personally, it's something that helps me recover faster. That might be placebo, or maybe I get time dilated, so maybe both of them. But yeah, it is also something that I do, Aaron. So I understand completely, man. If you want to, if you can, we would appreciate you joining us as well. Double dog dare. All of us are so connected. Not even death can make you leave this world. I see myself, I see the core of myself in everyone. I'm sure if they were paying attention, they would see that I am them as well. More and more people are seeing that, Aiden. And I couldn't agree more with every single thing you said. Like, more and more people are seeing that. And unfortunately, it's not very easy to see those things. It's not exactly something we're taught. It's not exactly something, the government would want us to believe. It's not exactly something religions would want us to believe. Some religions, do go all that way, but the popular religions, if you will, is very much separation based. And the reason you're like, oh, why would the government not want us to know this information? Because the government thrives on separation, friends. The government literally 101 thrives on humans being separate and not being able to make decisions for themselves. So we employ this government to make decisions for us. Yeah. As soon as we start recognizing one another as ourselves, and treating one another, like the whole treat someone like you would treat yourself, it's so simple, and yet it's so fundamental as well. I know it leaves some, room for interpretation, and some people can want things that others might not. But again, if you recognize another being, for instance, you have a person standing right in front of you, recognizing that instead of just looking at a body, instead of just looking at a personality, instead of just looking at an astrological sign, instead of just looking at another being, you are looking part and parcel at yourself. There's nothing that separates you. Like, if you want to, talk about separation in the way like, oh, Mel, I have a body of my own, that person has a body of their own. Yeah, it's true. But do they have a planet of their own? Do you have a planet of your own? Do each of you have a universe of your own? And then I could say, yes, technically. Because as soon as you close your eyes, you do have a universe of your own. But I believe that universe is something we share. And in that way, we are technically this divine mind, infinite consciousness, experiencing limited, I want to say, scaled down mind, scaled down consciousness. Because having all of the information can kind of be a little bit much. And then in limiting ourselves, we get to experience a part of this reality that is absolutely fantastic and so calm. Like literally said a little bit earlier, that there is no being secure, and yet this state is so calm, this external state. And the curious thing to me as well is, like, when you start playing with the animal friends, that calmness, disintegrates in both sides. Like, your calm external reality can kind of become a little bit more chaotic, as does your internal reality. And it's kind of that way for almost all individuals that experience these things, especially at significant enough doses. We're not separate. We are as an eye piercing through individual beings. But it's the same eye that pierces through every single one of them. Can't see your own eyes, but you can see someone else's. And as soon as you start looking into someone else's, there is this recognition feedback loop that happens of, oh, I see you. How did you get in there? I'm in this one. I've been in this one for a while. How's yours treating you? It's like spaceships, kind of. Like I was watching the Midnight Gospel last night, and I clicked on episode 4 as my first episode that I wanted to watch, and it rolled over. Like the episode 4 was fantastic, and it was talking about listening and how it's so difficult for us to listen sometimes. And the second episode was about soul prison. And one of the things that Duncan said, or Clancy, was that our physical bodies is like a snorkel protruding into the air so that we may experience it as we are. So this physical body is literally as an appendage, as something that is extruded, and I kind of think of it from like in the center point outwards, in the same way that our planets have cores and go outwards, is these extrusions into physical reality, and we get to experience that extrusion as our physical reality. But you're not the extrusion, you're not the body, you are the thing underlying all of it. And so is every single other person in your life as well. And realizing that and accepting that to a point where you can see that in someone else's eyes allows you to love people with an unbiased nature, a truly loving nature. Although I have to get going, have a great first day of October. Thank you so much, Lane. Love to you as well, my friend. How are you doing, lovely lady? Happy birthday, man. Bye, Lane. Again, bye, Lane. Thank you for joining us on your birthday, my friend. Have a good one. GM, big mechanic? Yes, GM all of it, dude. Hello, happy birthday, GM. I don't know what GM means, actually. General Manager? Have you ever heard The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz? No, I haven't. I think he's a South African artist. I tried to listen to his music, but it wasn't necessarily my flavor, Cody, unfortunately. Thank you for the helpful friend. Hey, even if you don't make it all the way through, you've made progress. You've got this, my dude. Yes, you do. You definitely do. I'm going back to bed. Love you, Aaron. Thank you, my friend. Chad didn't show you, but it notified me. Hello, Toasty. Thank you. Thank you for reaching out, Candace. Please stay safe. I will. Red carnation flower. If you do too, friend, we can keep one another safe. I am almost complete with my shmushmumsh village painting. I can't wait to show you all. I'm looking forward to it, Candace. Please, to you friends who don't know, Viking Queen, or as we call her, Candace, Viking Queen with 3s instead of E's, is an artist, and she makes absolutely breathtaking works of art. And if you want to see some of the stuff that she's made, like, you can go and check on the Discord, or you can go and check directly on her profile as well. She has some of them listed on some NFT profiles, so if you want to buy some. Bub says, a salt fast, good way to have a seizure. Yeah, dude, like, I'm very much not gonna try that. It sounds very dangerous to me as well. I love V8. I don't know what it is. Fasting without electrolytes sounds very dangerous. I agree completely. V8 juice is vegetable drink. It's a salty drink. I can see why you stopped drinking it. Salty vegetable juice. It doesn't sound bad, but it does kind of as well. It's not fun. My first fast, and I was like, yuck, dry fast, and the headaches were bad. I could imagine. Like, it's okay, dry fast. Like, how long did you dry fast for? Did a 30-day water fast, and I had my electrolytes, and I had 0 headaches. That sounds about right. Yep. You need electrolytes. Like, it's not something I would ever be able to go without, unfortunately. Geese? No, it's gooseses, dude. Everest. It's gooseses. Are you South African? I am South African. My throat wouldn't be able to handle that. Yeah, the 30-day water fast, fortunately, dude, as soon as you start fasting, your body kind of down-regulates the amount of acid production, so your throat will be fine. And actually, and I don't take this as fact. Go and do some of your own research. But I know about people who have done fasts after having extreme acid reflux, after even having diabetes, and like curing themselves of that stuff. Because as soon as your body stops, being required to constantly have this literal biological acid machine, to dissolve your food constantly, giving that a break is absolutely fantastic for your body, including your insulin pumps that need to constantly be pumping insulin into your body because you continue eating. Giving that a break is also fantastic. I thought I would need salt, but felt super fine without it in my 10-day fast. That's really crazy. Like for me, it's something that I notice, Jovan. Like I'll notice I get weak, I'll notice I get fatigued, I'll notice the headaches, I'll know I'm not comfortable anymore, and it's usually salt that helps me get better after that. Christabel says, oh my goodness, that is a beautiful accent, and that is a beautiful thing for you to say, friend. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Greatest enemy of my hydromies. I would love to do a fast, but I'm afraid I'll get too skinny. Unfortunately, if you don't have some body fats, it is something that can leave you a little bit skinny. I do have a little bit of reserves, so I have something to eat. Like maybe that's one thing to consider. You don't have to do it right now, Aiden. And if you want to do it, you don't have to do it for like a month. Do it for 3-4 days. Just give yourself some novelty. Do something different. Control is an illusion. No control over whatever happens next. Yeah, unfortunately that's true, Big Mechanic. But there is control over what I do next. And that I think is the most important thing. The whole Stoic philosophy of accept what you can't change and change what you can. All of the Stoics are just like doing spins in their graves right now. To be able to be content with the things you can't change and be passionate about the things you can change, if you will. Yeah. Exercise and a fast really does the trick. It really does. It's a South African accent, my friend. I'm happy that you appreciate it, Christabel. It's so nice to have you here. Give your room the average. Yeah, that sounds about right. I'm joking, dude. South African. Oh, lettuce. Yes, good advice. Thank you. Wow, thank you, friend. There is so much salt in processed foods, and then a majority of the time I would grab the salt shaker and add more. No cramps, luckily. I emptied the salt shaker for 30 days and limited myself to low sodium foods. Doctor suggestion, so I went for it. Okay, Jasmine, if it was a doctor suggestion, then I completely respect it. And especially if you're saying you were eating processed salty foods and then adding more salt to it. I rarely add more salt to my food after cooking. Yeah, but we do need salt. Like, I don't know if you can have salt reserves. That's the thing I'm wondering about now, Jasmine. Lol, that's cute. No, you. Lol. Salt gives cramps? No, the lack of salt gives cramps, my friend. Or, yeah, the lack of salt gives cramps. Sodium helps with muscle cramps. Yep, that's the right one. I could fall asleep to this accent. Some people do, Christabel. You don't have to worry if you do, my friend. Some people do. But I went to school. Quack. Oh, so there's no sleeping. At least not for the next while. I was gonna say there's natural sodium in like celery and in eggs, which is a staple to my diet, so avoiding all of it would be intense. Yeah, I agree completely. I would love eggs, but I love eggs, but they don't love me. I don't know if there's anything I can do about that, unfortunately, Candace. It isn't Sober October, it is Obese October. Chug some beers, am I right? Freaking thanks, Paul. Hey, ciao. Thank you for joining us, my dude. I mean, Paul can drink enough for the both of us, so I'll leave it to him. I don't eat vegetables at all. I haven't eaten a single vegetable in years. That's a lie, dude. That's just a stone cold lie. Like at least in my opinion. Have you eaten potato chips? Technically vegetables, even though it's not necessarily the healthiest of vegetables, but I don't believe that you haven't eaten a vegetable in years. I think even unwillingly you would have gotten some vegetables in somewhere. Like, even if it's the tomato sauce, technically tomato sauce is fruit. Even if it's, some sort of ingredient incorporated into something else you've eaten, I can't imagine you haven't eaten a single vegetable, dude. But please do. Vegetables are good for you, man. Innovation and technological growth, but no humanitarian growth. That's the real fear. That's what's happening right now. And I feel, fortunately, like there is this awakening of the humanitarianism right now happening. So it's giving me some hope, at least. Eggs. Food poisoned me yesterday. Goodness. I'm sorry to hear that, Everest. I'm happy that you're still here with us. Same Z's. I went to school of learn fuck all about nothing as well. Yep. Me too, Toasty. Me too, dude. Abstain. Like, legit, I don't feel I have an inkling of information that I kept from high school. Like, not even a bit. Like, maybe how to read. Yeah. Guess I could have opted out of school at the age of 7. If I could have just read what I wanted to read, maybe I would have known more by now. I should have specified no added salt. Natural sodium was accepted. Okay, that makes a lot more sense, Jasmine. Because, like, the way you said it, at least, a salt fast is like fasting, abstaining from all salt. Like, if I do a food fast and I can eat only certain types of foods, then I'm not fasting. Or I'm doing a wheat fast and I'm only eating edibles, then also wouldn't be fasting. So, like, maybe it's like a reduction of your salt. I'm happy that you could at least, get some natural sodium in. I'm sorry to hear that as well. That sounds hectic. Preach. I'm okay to learn fuck all about nothing school. I'm okay now though, so it's fine-ish. I'm happy to hear that, my friend. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I don't need trigonometry to make a sandwich or make babies. Yeah, that's true. Like, the thing that bothers me the most about school and the way that it is kind of represented or presented is this blunt object that gets forced down all of our throats. When, oh man, this just sounds kind of hectic. Like, the way I'm thinking about it, like, I kind of feel like it's this whole plethora of information and we just get forced, and then eventually we kind of want to go into a single direction and we specify. I don't know enough about schooling to actually make educated comments on it. Say it again. Meltmore reads every single comment. I do. I love you, Uncle Becky. I love you so much, man. Thank you for being here still. I was actually just thinking about you and thought you left. Yeah, that's something I could definitely get down with. I know I definitely exceed my daily salt intake. What is the daily salt intake limit, actually, Jovan? Because when I'm fasting, I'll take like 5 grams of salt. So 5,000 milligrams of salt. And I'm like honky-dory. So, like, I actually don't know what the daily limit is of your salt intake. My degree papers are my kiddos' drawings. That sounds perfect. Like, it's interesting as well. My dad is a mining engineer. And he recently started a new business. And then he was like looking for his degree. And he couldn't find it anywhere. And, like, I like to joke with my dad, a degree is basically a piece of paper that says you know how to read. You know how to read, remember that information for a while and then regurgitate that information again. And then you can go on and forget it. Unless it's math, of course, then it's all encompassing. The math teacher always used to say, what happens if you become a mechanist? A machinist? I don't exactly know what a machinist. A mechanic for NASA? A machinist? Like, maybe that is a word. I just don't know it, unfortunately. Thank you, though, Cody. Like, please do teach me, dude. That's wholesome. I'm supposed to be in my high school, but I wasn't enrolled. So now I'm here. Oh yeah. Like your American high schools start your semester or your first semester around September, right? Am I right? In October or September? Is that right? I'm curious actually. I'm not sure. The School of Google. Oh yeah. Rip off clothes, showing you're wearing a cape. Don't need math. I am a rocket. Love it, exactly. And you were right the first time, Melt. You slide and scare people. Oh, the word you use. Thank you as well, Aiden. I appreciate that. Whoa, I couldn't imagine. Yeah, dude, not eating vegetables for years. I legit like you would have to actually try. It would be an active pursuit. Like maybe if you eat only packets of 2-minute noodles for the last 5 years, would it be possible or something? God dang, I love this accent, my friend. Like, fortunately, you wouldn't believe I do this every single day. So you can come every single day and take a big old swig of the accent. Take it with you. Know that you're loved, Christabel. Thank you, friend. I personally believe the school system is a waste. People learn better in person. Spend 5 years learning, and when you finally get the actual action of the job, you find you're not interested. Yep. That's the most devastating part to me as well, Candace. And I saw that I actually, man, this sounds a little bit weird, but it was like I saw that side of my life unfolding. Like I was supposed to go and study chemical engineering. But my dad is an engineer, my brother is studying to be an engineer, my other brother wants to be an engineer, my mom's brothers, all three of them are engineers, my dad's brother is an engineer, his sons also want to be engineers, my dad's sister's sons are also engineers. So I was like, nah, 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 nah. And I remember very viscerally as well, experiencing my life almost through this lens of going and becoming an engineer. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go in and study. And then, like, I kind of already mentally prepared myself to suffer for the next 4 years. And I like went to my dad and I was like, okay, dude, so I'm gonna go to college. And he's like, okay, that's cool. You're gonna have to pay for it yourself, though. And I was like, okay, so I can either one, study to become a chemical engineer, get myself into like 70, $90,000 worth of debt, and then after that I actually get to work, and then I get to pay that debt back for the next 5 years of my life. So I spent 9 to 10 years of my life not having any freedom whatsoever. And I was like, I was picturing myself doing this as well, as an engineer. And I was like, and then I was like, okay, maybe that'll be fine. Maybe I can do that. Maybe it wouldn't be that bad, being trapped, if you will, for that long. And then I was like, studying math, going through these different problems, studying chemistry, going through these different problems. And I was just miserable. I was like, this absolutely sucks ass. And then I was picturing, oh goodness, it sucks ass now, to the point where, like, at that point in my life, I was also extremely depressed. So it sucked ass in the perspective of, this sucks ass, I would rather die kind of mentality. And I was like, nope, this is not sustainable, not something I can continue doing. Imagine if I had to continue doing that for 10 years, feeling trapped whilst doing something I absolutely hated. I don't think I would have made it. I'm so thankful to be here with you friends right now. We as human beings go in different directions, and you're completely right about what you're saying about not being interested in something. Studying for 5 years, there's so many people who have degrees that either can't find jobs for the degrees they have, or go into a direction that is completely, not even aligned with their degrees, or when they find jobs that is associated with their degrees, they're not happy in their jobs either. And it devastates me that this is like literally just, a part of our reality. Like, oh yeah, that's just how it is, dude. Human beings are just kind of miserable. No, we can't continue going on like this. something needs to change about the way we teach our kids, about the way we show them information, about the way we kind of get them interested. And I understand completely why they wouldn't be interested as well. Not only is the school system in itself, literally a dinosaur of a system, it is also kind of one of the biggest drivers of childhood depression that we have right now. If you Google why is school, you're going to get a bunch of negatives. Why does school make me? You're going to get a little list of negatives because people are searching those things the most. Millions and millions and millions of teenagers have killed themselves because of the stress they feel at a school level. Feeling like they don't belong, feeling like they are unintelligent, feeling like there is something wrong with them, when in fact the thing that they're being subjected to is what is wrong, unfortunately. That is why we'll be homeschooling our girls. Oh, Candace, I'm sure they're going to have an absolutely amazing time learning from you as well. Like being able to grow up with an artistic mom and seeing, how artistic they can be already. Like it actually, I'm still thinking about that little piece one of your daughters did. It blows my mind. Like she's literally a little girl and she can make works of art. Composition has different elements in this work of art that I would consider psychedelic inducing. And I'm like, how exactly, is a 7, I think she was 7 when she painted that, right? Or drew that, right, Candace? How does a 7-year-old create a work of art like that? And I was like, shit, I'm kind of intimidated. But in the same breath, it makes me look forward to what our, younger generations can bring for this planet as well. I just wish we can take better care of them. That makes us turn in our phones before costume makeup to prevent us from being on our phones during work. Yes, I'm still doing the jellyfishes, but I am not getting any new orders. Okay, well, to you friends who don't know, Scarmelia makes these little plushy jellyfishes that she can stuff with catnip if you want her to. Wish you were my mom. Oh, isn't that nice, Cristobal? Maybe she is, dude. Maybe her kids as representations of you, and her as the mom to them is a mom to you, friend. If you wanna, take the hippie route. Yes, it does suck not being able to eat every food without it tasting. I can imagine. People ask, aren't you worried that they will be socially awkward? Nope, my kids love all kids, and they just want to play. They'll be fine. They'll be fine. I have homeschooled cousins, and they're not really socially awkward. Like, I would consider my cousins more popular than myself, if you will. I have 2 friends. 2, no, 3, no, 4, no. Okay, I have more than 2 friends, but I've only seen these 2 friends, in the last 2 years technically. They're the only ones that have come to see me as well. So in that way, whatever you would consider, a friend, these friends are extremely close to me. Where my cousins, homeschooled and all, have multiple, upwards of 15 friends plus. So yeah, I don't think it's a clear correlation that if you're homeschooled, you're going to be socially awkward. Do they have computers at least? In school, they have no phones. I'm pretty sure they don't have computers yet. I think they're a little bit young still, Sensei. You're perfect. Oh, Cristobal, I'm very much not perfect. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to stop you there. I am the furthest thing from perfect. I try to be as close to it as I can be, but I'm very much not. I appreciate your love though, Cristobal. Thank you so much. I love that you're so in tune with the animals. Thank you, friend. I appreciate your love. I don't think I'm in tune. I just think I'm accepting. I only started taking psychedelics after I attempted suicide as well. So there was a certain level of crazy, a certain level of dedication, a certain level of what's the word I'm looking for? Seriousness, if you will. with the way I do things. And if you make a decision like taking your own life, then there has to be like a whole plethora of things that you have to kind of come over or get over first. And accepting my own death was like one of the first steps that I had to take up on this journey, if you will. Fortunately, I didn't succeed. Fortunately, I didn't succeed. And, after that, death wasn't something that, scared me, because I literally tried to and failed. So it was like this acceptance of take me, and then death was like, bruh, you need to stick around for a little bit longer. And I was like, oh, okay. Bye for now, death. And death was like, see you in a few years, dude. Cheers. And ever since, hasn't been something that scared me. So I think for that reason, if anything, the whole being in tune with the animals came from that place of I've gotten over the fear of death. So the fear of discombobulation in a psychedelic way isn't necessarily intimidating. They have no clue what YouTube is, famous YouTubers, etc. They just know draw, share, play, repeat. I'm so happy to hear that, my friend. Like, YouTube right now and the algorithms and the content that is being pushed right now is hot garbage. At least a lot of it. Not all of it, a lot of it is. And for like the most popular content, like one of the most popular, at least, for this year, most viewed channels has something like 3.5 billion views, and they do pranks on one another. And it's these, brain numbing pranks of someone, digging a hole in a candle and putting a firecracker in the candle and then covering it with wax again. And then they spend, 2 minutes trying to light this candle, and then, oh, boop, the candle has a little thing that explodes. And then that's this 3-minute video that has, you want to know how many views? 250 million views. And my heart, it just like melts, but in a bad way. It's like, oh, how does this brain numbing content? And the thing is as well, why I mentioned the fact that they try and light it for 2 minutes. It's not like they don't know how to light it, but if they just lit it, it would be like a 1-minute video. And then if it's a 1-minute video, you can't monetize it on Facebook. So they extend it into being 3 minutes. Go and if you want to like see how bad it is, go look at like Facebook videos. Like I avoided like the plague because of this as well. Every single one of those Facebook videos are going to be 3 minutes or longer, because as soon as it's 3 minutes, you can monetize it. So they create this mind-numbing content and then they stretch it out to reach that 3-minute level. I'm guaranteed sure that they have somewhere in that room like a counter that like shows them when it's getting close to the 3-minute mark, so they can actually get with whatever the video is about. Okay. Rant done. I'm gonna stop reading about it. Fortunately, we friends here, at least, I won't, toot my own horn and say this is better content than that content, but at least we're trying to talk about somewhat intellectual things that we have to think about, not, oh, what's gonna happen when the freaking firecracker explodes? Oh, it explodes? Who would have guessed? Who would have guessed firecrackers explode? I'm so glad that 250 million beings spend time to find out. Okay, now I'm done. Last time I played outside was at 9. Those were the good times. I mean, Everest, you can still play outside, my friend. Bring your childhood back to the now. I noticed that on my water fast too. The lack of headaches when you had electrolytes in, I'm guessing, no computers. Honestly, I think that's a good thing. I used computers too much in my childhood, and I missed out on some good times. Aiden, I agree, but I also don't agree. Like, if I had the chance, like I grew up literally almost with a computer in hand. As soon as I was like 5 years old, my dad already had a computer because he was using it for work. So I had access to a computer from as soon as I was, able to influence the world externally. Like up to the age of 4, you're not really that cognizant, but at 5, you start to want to do things. And my want to do things was channeled directly into computers. And if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be in the way I am right now. Like, I became completely obsessed with information at that point in my life, and I absorbed a lot of it. And I'll agree in some ways that it did maybe rob me of some parts of my childhood in a way that I would rather spend time on the computer than outside. But I now have an appreciation for being outside in a way that I don't think I would have if I didn't do that, Aiden. So, what do you think about that, man? I didn't mouse out on anything, and I loved the computer while growing up. There you go. Yes, and I agree as well, dude. It was also something that very much, if you will, served me. It's good keeping kids away from social media. There, I agree. Like, computers is one thing. Social media and them having social media platforms and them uploading to these social media platforms and then getting into that whole wanting upvotes, loop, that is definitely not the right thing to do. Social media and things at a younger age so they aren't exposed to any horrible things. I agree completely, Everest. Melt, says Uncle Becky, since sane, and I think, since sane, I think I'm truly, Melt, since sane, I think I'm truly starting to see that our theory of consistent good light energy being able to change the world is working. Would you agree? I would. I definitely would, Uncle Becky. If anything, it has changed me. And I can't speak for all of you friends, but to you friends who have reached out to me in this way, I've known for a while now that these streams have helped you change in positive ways as well. And if this continues to happen, Uncle Becky, I mean, this is literally the first few months of us doing this. Imagine the first few decades, the first few millennia. I want to live at least 137 years so that we can reach the 420 69 stream, or was it 69 420? I think it was 69 420 stream. We'll get there, Uncle Becky. You have to stay alive with me for that long, man. We have to see how we can change the world for as long as possible. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people had that experience as well. I just wish I would have gone outside more as a young kid. I mean, Aiden, we get to go outside now, dude. I believe genuinely that as an adult, going outside, you almost have more faculties to appreciate what you're looking at as well. For me, like, I love looking at things and like literally analyzing them, deconstructing them, kind of thinking about how that root is applied to that tree, how the underlying, woody core is completely solid, how water is being channeled through the bark, how the little different leaves are basically as these fractal expressions of, a single base that turns into more branches, that turns into smaller branches, that turns into these small individual little leaves. Like, as a kid, it was just tree to me. But as I've continued to grow my ego with it, the information to understand things in a novel way, or at least to look at things and see so much underlying information, infinitely more. And the fact that we can continue doing that, we can continue pushing into that infinitude, if you will. Just because we have a neighbor who has a 19-year-old son and he stays inside all day and has zero interactions with people, he's a really sweet guy too. Yeah, I agree completely, Candace. These things don't limit us. What's wrong with staying inside all day anyhow? I don't know, it's insane. Like, I've done it a fair bit myself as well. I don't think there's anything wrong with any of it. That's the thing. That's what I believe. I believe all of it is perfectly divinely aligned. Because, for human consciousness, if you want to, at least in my opinion and the way I understand it, if you want to think about human consciousness and the way we get to experience as a contribution to divine mind, then all of our generations of human beings who lived before us, who experienced the world without the internet, kids who experienced only the outside life, that experience is within divine consciousness. And the experience, the technology we had access to as our consciousnesses allows us to experience different things. Spending your day all the way inside playing games all day is just as divine of an experience as spending your day outside playing as well. It's not for us to say which is more divine than another when it's all experience, wanting to be felt. I'm going to say I am on an alcohol fast instead of using the word alcoholic. The fast has been 22 years, 10 months. So grateful, so grateful, so grateful to have you here as well, Elvin. That's amazing, my friend. I'm so proud of your 22 and 10 months, 22 years and 10 months alcohol fast. I love that so much. You're not an alcoholic at all. I think at this point, like, I guess you can free yourself, dude. I mean, it's been long enough. It's been long enough. You're no longer an alcoholic. I dubbed thee. Exactly, kids get picked on for not having stuff. So what? Makes a bow out of a bow out of a stick and twine. Makes my daughter so happy. That's beautiful. Yeah, I like. Fortunately, I think homeschooling your kids can definitely save them from some of the horrible nature that kids will kind of express. But in the same way, it can also leave them lacking of the ability to kind of deal with situations like that when they find themselves in the real world. Fortunately, Candace, and you're probably like, oh, don't you worry, Mel, them being four little sisters, they're going to be more than mean enough to one another to learn how to deal with that stuff. Like if it was a single girl and you decide to homeschool her, then I can maybe see like potential for social awkward ability, but otherwise I don't think so. I will be back after I finally cook up some breakfast. See you all. See you all for now. See you as well, Everest. Thank you. Especially with things like VR and face cam chats. Yeah, exactly. It's insane. Like I'm curious as well because you know that is also going to be something that we have to eventually do if we actually want to continue, being, if you will, content creators. VR is going to be one of those things that we can do to spend time together. So where what we're doing right now can be seen as a virtual experience. Imagine if we can all add goggles to our faces, and then I could, in my goggles, have all of you rendered. And then you could, instead of having to type, you could just be like, hey, Mel, I want to ask something, and you can ask it directly to me, and I can listen to you. How cool would that be as well? So again, it's not for us to say which one is better or worse when all of it has the capacity to be both good and bad. It's depending on how you use it and the intentions you set. That could have been me if I had made different choices. Luckily, you found my passion. I found my passion for the world. And we're so happy that you found us as well, Aiden. You are genuinely such a divine creator, my friend. I am 35 minutes behind on the comments. I'm sorry, friends. Okay, let's see if I can do a little bit of a speed run. My girls don't know a stranger. They love all and want to share with everyone. They give drawings to strangers with the biggest smiles. Like, your girls are definitely getting a view of the world that is of, divine intention. Makes me so happy, Candace. When you mean poor guy, he probably chooses to stay in because it's more enjoyable. Exactly. Some people feel, and like I felt for a long time this way as well, that the external world and the things happening in the external world is too painful to bear. Unfortunately, that's a reality. It's not a good one, but it is a reality that we're facing. And to say, something like poor guy can also be a way of pushing that person even deeper into that place. It's not a poor guy, it is, oh, we love that dude as well. And if he wants to come out of his room to have a chat with us, we're going to accept him, welcome him, love him nonetheless. Ooh, the DMT Soul Prison episode is my favorite. I think it's my favorite as well now, Aiden. That episode really blew my mind last night, especially. Like, it felt like I was watching those episodes for the first time, actually. Or at least I was watching them in the way they were supposed to be watched. Melt, do you have to go to way... Whoa. Do you have a go-to way of changing your mood when/if you struggle with self-harming thoughts? That's weird, Toasty, and I'm kind of intimidated by you asking me that question, because this is something I actually talked about with myself during my psychedelic experience, where, man, the only reason I'm willing to share this is because you literally hit it on the nail. the nail on the head, if you will. Like, I do have self-harming thoughts, like all the time, and it's especially something that I'll have, during a state of meditation. If I go into that state of meditation in a low wave, and I'll experience, you know, my death or the imagination of self-harm in a very visual way, and then it'll be something that I kind of move past. And last night I was like looking at myself, and I was talking about these things to myself, about how I do sometimes still have, the neural pathways, if you will, to think about stuff like self-harm, and how it's not something that will serve me. And the way I have, at least in my own opinion, like my go-to way, if you will, Toasty, I've allowed myself to escape that, is with the recognition that if I do harm myself to the point where I no longer feel pain, if you will, I'm not I'm maybe not going to be feeling pain, but I'm not going to bring anything good into the world, right? Like if what I'm doing right now is the alignment, and I believe what you're doing, Toasty, is in the exact same alignment. The alignment we have is to bring more love, more compassion, more smiles, more enjoyment of our lives, of our conversations, of ourselves, of this world. Taking my own life would ruin so many things, and it might sound a little bit egoic, but it would ruin things. It would hurt people, it would hurt my family, it would I think even it would hurt perceptions, of what is possible of myself as well, if you will. And it's something that devastates me when I think about that. So I realize that these self-harming thoughts only has the potential to harm, period. And I know it can be simple to kind of think about it like that, but that's exactly what it is. Like, you harming yourself isn't, again, we are all interconnected. You harming yourself isn't just you harming yourself, it's you harming everyone around you as well. So as soon as I come to that realization, I'm like, this is not the way. This is not what I'm meant to do. This is not what is expected of me. And then I realign myself. I'm like, nope, that's not gonna happen. I thought he wanted the interaction. My bad. Probably Jesus. No, it's okay, my friend. No bad whatsoever. No bad whatsoever. My girls don't have anxiety attacks over having stuff taken away. It's crazy how kids act these days. When electronic is taken away, they abuse their rights. Yep, we clean our room and toys. They happily help me, knowing but they will be replaced and that other kids are getting the toys. It makes me so happy to hear that as well, Candace. It's the way it's supposed to be. It's this understanding that there doesn't have to be an attachment to these things, that it's literally just physical matter. Thank you for the love and for the narwhal salute, Aunt B. It's so nice to have you here, my friend. How are you doing? I love listening to that show in the background. I love the art too. Pendleton Ward lifts my Pendleton Ward lifts my soul. I don't know who that is. Maybe it's the artist, actually. Thank you, Toasty, for letting me know if it is. I don't know if it's helpful for everyone, but as soon as I remind myself and remember that my thoughts aren't me, thoughts are just made by my brain to use as tools, and I don't need to use it if I don't want to. New puzzle piece unlocked. I like that. You're completely right, Aiden. You're completely right. I saw a documentary on kids who are staying in and doing school online, all that, and a lot of kids aren't really enjoying it, interacting with friends more and getting better grades. Are really enjoying it, interacting with friends more and getting better grades. I'm happy to hear that, actually, Sensane. Like, I was curious about how that is going to affect our youth. I'm happy that it's possibly affecting them positively. Best mom ever. Oh, she's great. Yeah, while there are kids who are struggling and having a hard time, so in my opinion, it just proves that one learning style does not work for all. Maybe imagine if we can incorporate both. Maybe to the kids who do prefer in-person schooling, we can provide that, and then also provide, online schooling, if you will, at the same time. Make it a choice. Much respect for you, and wow, I didn't know you were an artist. Oh, yes, she is. You should go and check out her work as well, Christabel. I think you would love it. So true. That's nice. I feel that way about my internal dialogue. I think about it as water, always running over me, constantly, never stopping. But when I'm thirsty, I take a drink. The rest is just whoosh, water noise. I love that, Toasty. That's perfect as well, dude. When I did my 30-day water fast, autophagy kicked in and my body just feels radiant and clean in and out. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that, Candace. Like, you have been a very big inspiration with fasting for me as well this year. Wow, I need to look into these water facts. The water fasts, I'm guessing, probably. Read up on autophagy. When I feel a cold coming on, I fast. Your body focuses on replacing damaged cells instead of digesting, etc. Yep. That's autophagy. Basically, literally eats your damaged cells. Thank you, I will. Thank you, friend. Yo, day 1 for me was seriously the worst. I got the ketosis flu bad. But then, after that, it was a breeze. I'm happy to hear that as well, Jovan. Like, it can be very difficult, and I found that, a lack of salt is usually the reason I get a keto fast as well, or a keto flu as well, that's the word. Mel has a Discord, and we all post our art there. Joe Bot is also an amazing artist. Oh, yes, she is. So, and this is actually her maker's account as well. Joe Bot makes things. Keto flu is a poopy duke stage 1 to 3 days, but it's totally worth going through. Oh, absolutely. Wow, thanks for telling me. Thanks for listening, friend. We love it as you hear, genuinely. Oh, ketosis is the worst feeling at first. It can be. We do artsy stuff on Discord sometimes. Thank you so much for tagging it, Jovan. Of course, but I got the morning gossip from Brownie, and the word on the farm is that Sam the Sloth is going to visit Haywire Hill this weekend. Are you serious? That's amazing, on B. Like, when is Gob coming? I remember Gob is also coming at some point, but I don't know if it's also going to be the same weekend. That must be amazing. I've never eaten a single vegetable. I only eat sand. Always have. Like, I would believe you if you would send me photos of your teeth, because your teeth would probably be so smooth if you ate sand your entire life, chow. Oh, I just got goosebumps just thinking about it. I was imagining what it would be like to gnaw down on sand, and my body was like, no, don't even think about that stuff, dude. Don't even attempt. Not even for a second. Vegetables are so good. How could you not eat veggies? Yeah, dude. Veggies are good. Like, I'm a big broccoli fan, actually. I love you and Uncle Becky. Uncle Becky is the best. I wish the sloth would ride her. Can you see it? A sloth riding Brownie. Like, I feel sloths are kind of like creepy animals, at least in my opinion. So I just kind of imagine this sloth slowly edging his way closer to Brownie, and Brownie just being like, what is this thing doing? Why is it like inching closer and closer to me? Monkey Brain says eat meat. I don't know, I try to eat mostly veggies, but Monkey Brain just wants burger and only burger, lol. Monkey Brain knows that there is a calorie denseness, if you will, within burger, unfortunately, Aiden. And calorie dense means better, because you have to eat less food to get the same amount of energy. Less foraging for more food, technically, if you want to say it another way. Thank you. This gives me something to try and visualize. I'm trying hard. We love you, dude. Toasty, we love you so much, man. Aunt B, we love you so much. This is the way, my friend. I just dropped it. Good for you, friend. I hope it treated you well, the one with the flow. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna continue. Is your mind an eternal circus as well, friend? I think that might be one of the things we have in common here. We have the eternal circus minds. Oh, I love meat too, but I love veggies just as much. Humans are omnivores after all. That's true. And if you do them together, they can be such a good complement to one another. The level of artistic expression we're all able to have and share with one another is so comforting. Art makes me comfortable. I don't think I've ever heard someone say that, Uncle Becky. Art makes me comfortable. I like that. That's amazing. Isn't it wonderful? I love seeing people explore their creative side. It makes me so happy. I'm excited because I should be getting all of my other instruments out of storage finally this month, and I can finally start adding to my bass lines I've been writing. Ooh wee. Edmund, you must be excited, dude. That sounds amazing. I see my internal dialogue as a little robot feeding me data from the information it's collected. I just ask him to run the numbers when I need him to, and then I don't pay attention to the beeping when I don't need to. Jovan, is that resonating with you as well? That's beautiful, Aiden. I love that. Less than 1 teaspoon of salt is recommended daily, under 2,300 milligrams. Most people will surpass that though. I think so as well. The fact that salt raises blood pressure and, causes heart problems have also been disproven. And when I have some more art to share, we look forward to it. Edmund, we really do. Please, there we go. It's almost all there it is. I'm actually curious, now that you're asking please about his art, how is your self-portrait coming along, actually, Toasty? More art. Oh, it's a perfect way to put it. I think so as well, actually. I'm happy that you resonate with it. Oh, we have Heather here, my beloved friend. I hope you get better. I hope your sister gets better. We're sending you so much love, holding in your thoughts in our hearts. Wanted to pop in and say hello. I'm alive and resting, with my phone by my pillow listening. I'll whisper sweet nothings into your ear then. Thank you, Heather, for being here with us. It's loud in here, consciously redirecting to productive focal points to hopefully distract my mind. I actually like that sentence. That's beautiful. I hope you can manage that. Actually, I don't know if you're still here on B. I wouldn't be surprised. It's been like 32 minutes, but our thing we're saying for today was the infinite, eternal stream of communication that occurs throughout creation, unobstructed, is lost to our awareness. Yet, so close are we. It requires only a thought to shift the momentum in a new direction. So, you're shifting that momentum on B. Believe in yourself, my friend. Yo, Edmund, I want to tell you that the bass vid you shared forever ago was rad. I don't think I've seen it. Have I? Maybe I haven't seen it actually, Edmund. Me too. First time here. Heard wonderful things about you. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Scon42. It's so nice to have you here. Love to you, my friend. Did you get a fence? There's been a small little fence here for a while, Nankek. Hey, Skull. Good morning, friend. So glad you're here. It's so nice to have a new friend. We love you. If anything, take that with you today, friend. We love you. I feel that so many voices, and they all move away with each other like a school of fish. Oh, thank you, Jovan. I actually took another one like that. Yes, I can't read like this. My brain is like... Oh, thank you, Jovan. I actually took another one like that yesterday to share, but started nitpicking things. I get that, Edmund. We would want to see it, my friend, if anything. Engineer can also be a mindset fundamental. We are light engineers. Ooh, we can essentially be creative engineers utilizing data for good energy creation, find out what makes the data flow, and conduct experiments to multiply the craft. Woo-wee, Uncle Becky. So, it's crazy that you say it like that. And I think I like the word light engineer even more, because the word I used to use was social engineer. But social engineering has negative connotations to it. But yeah, light engineering, dude, that's beautiful. I love the name Candace. I was nearly called that. Oh, is your actual name Christabel? Christabel? I love that name as well, though, my friend. So know that it suits you. Ask him. Remember what I told you. First time here, heard wonderful things. I know what you told him, Uncle Becky, but I don't know if he knows what you told him, because what you told him is to ask me a question about a certain thing. We'll see if he does. He becomes the story we tell. We become the stories we tell ourselves. If we curate good and light, it will shine to all levels of ourselves. Beautiful, Aiden. I agree completely, my friend. During my festival, Closey, Ellis Dream, and Izo all played a mix of Enzo's Overthinker featuring Alan Watts. It wasn't until the third time that everyone finally put their phones down. You could see it click when Alan says it's time to wake up. Oh yeah. It's time to wake up. I was trembling. It was so powerful. I felt it as well for a bit there, Toasty. Thank you, my friend, for sharing. Hello, Katie. Love you too, my friend. Thank you for joining us. Yes, I heard you are the light on the other side of the world. How's your light on the other side of the world from you? Who's your other light on the other side of the world for you? There we go. You asked the question, Scone. Uncle Becky is my friend. So the way me and Uncle Becky have been communicating and have been, at least in our own ways, understanding, this journey, this mission, this intention we're putting forwards into the world is with this understanding that I quite literally have light. It's fading now, but I quite literally have light when Uncle Becky doesn't. When I go to sleep, Uncle Becky still has daytime left. When I wake up, Uncle Becky is asleep. And in doing so, there is this perpetuation of someone awake somewhere in the world that has the intention of bringing love into this world. Be it mentally, be it physically, as we're trying to do here right now. There's always someone who's going to try and bring love into the world. And being able to do that with someone, being able to remind each other of that fact, being able to communicate with one another and be there for one another, it's an absolutely blessed experience. I love you, Uncle Becky, and I do you as well, Scar. Thank you for asking. This sounds amazing. I love that song. I can imagine how intense that would be. I can imagine as well. I'm kind of like, I want to go and listen to it now. Like all 3 different versions of them. Hi, friend. Hope you're feeling better today. Thank you so much, Uncle Becky, for reaching out. Your light, bro. Love to you as well, my friend. Thank you so much for being there. The man you're watching now. That's right. That's right, me and Uncle Becky be light buddies. I mean, I think every single one of us at this point are light buddies, but me and Uncle Becky have gone as far as to set that intention, to link ourselves soul to soul, if you will. It makes people uncomfortable when I tell them I have a passive longing for death. I too, unfortunately, have a passive longing for death, Toasty. And like that's kind of what I was talking about with the whole having accepted death. It's weird. It is weird and it does make people uncomfortable. It doesn't mean you want to kill yourself. It just means that you're kind of okay with dying and almost not even fearful of it, but in a way looking forward to it as an eventual relief that you'll experience almost. At least that's the way I see it, Toasty. Doesn't mean we want to die. Doesn't mean we want to, love this life any less. It just means that we're completely in acceptance of that possibility. And it's not something we fear because we realize it's something that's very much a part of being alive. Could call it the ultimate... no, I'm not going to say that. I wanted to say, I'm still going to say it. You can't call it the ultimate orgasm when you eventually pass away. In French, they call an actual orgasm a little death. Their translation of it is a little death. So big death is the ultimate orgasm. I'm not saying kill yourself. You don't have that right just yet, I want to say almost. You still have so much more light to bring into this world. And when your biological functions cease or, something else fated to happen happens, then that will be your time. For now, for as long as we are alive, for as long as we get to experience this life, we have to try and make the most of it. Make the most of each other's lives as well. Trying to bring as much beautifulness into it. But Uncle Becky, you're a light too, and Aunt V, feeling blessed. And you're a light too, my friend. We appreciate you so much. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? It's in that time. Exactly. Uncle Becky, I agree completely, dude. Like, death is not something dangerous. It's such a weird thing to hear say, but death is not something dangerous. Not at all, in fact. Well, I feel so discouraged when the people around me literally never separate from their device for any period of time. It's a huge distraction and becomes priority over anyone and anything else. You're completely right, Aunt B. Unfortunately, it's rampant in our society right now. Thank you for the heartwarming, Christabel. I appreciate you, friend. It's an amazing feeling to feel the presence with one another. It really is. Oh, Paul is here. I am doing obese October when healthy November. Third year in a row. I'll support you in that as well, Paul. You'll be intoxicated for me so that I don't have to be. Cheers to you, my friend. And then when you go on healthy November, then I'll smoke weed again to be unhealthy so I can balance you out. That way we have it perfectly neutral all the way through. Melt is in South Africa, the ideal distance for even light exchange. You're completely right, Uncle Becky. I'm so happy to be sharing this space with you right now, man. Whoop whoop! Good morning, mate, from Missouri, USA. Cavendish, it's nice to have you here again, my friend. Good morning to you. Absolutely connecting us all around this beautiful world. Hoo-wee. Oh, goodness. Connecting us all around the world. I'm looking forward to being able to do that even more physically, my friend. My path to this new perspective happened when I sent myself to the hospital. Death had words with me. Life is beautiful, and I'm glad to be living. I'm glad to have you as part of the living, Aiden. You are such a beautiful co-creator, my friend. It's such a blessing having you here. Please do stay forever and ever and ever and ever. Yes. So grateful for you being here. Same. Thank you, friends, for reaching out. I agree. This insane agrees with we're bringing light into the world. If only I couldn't see how beautiful the world was, but if only I could have seen how beautiful the world was back then. I see it now, though. I love this place. It's a ride, Aiden. It's one of the best amusement parks you could possibly hope for, and we get to be, in one of the best models of experiencers. Right? You're not a slug or a fly. You're a human being, and it's sick. It was truly, truly amazing. That is so heartwarming. That's me. That's my toxic trait. The feeling discouraged. Oh, about being on the phone. Oh, Uncle Becky, it's a difficult thing for us to realize as well. The fact that now, I think there is a little bit of a difference between a content creator, especially a content creator as yourself. Like Uncle Becky literally built his entire content creation career on a single device. And I mean, technically, I'm doing the same right now. I'm using it with a YouTube extension, but the YouTube isn't necessarily as productive. I don't know what the right word is. Successful as the Reddit is. And it's crazy that we now have access to a single device that can literally help you build an entire career. And in that way, it's understandable that you spend more time than less, Uncle Becky. I don't think it's a toxic trait. I think it's a part of the occupation right now. Abstinence. I'm just excited to see what's on the other side. It's gonna be lit. You are on the other side, Toasty. You're on the other side, dude. Meditation can be seen as a practice for death as well, dude. So yeah, go and meditate, my man. You are doing all the good, and you have every right to block out negativity and things that don't serve you. I know you don't mean any harm. The man just wants to be left alone, lol. Am I missing something? Distracted, the priority? Feels like I'm missing something. I'm excited. We had similar experience at a live painting with Alex Gray. Now I'm 1% more jealous of you, Uncle Becky. I'm joking, of course. Man, that sounds amazing, dude. Being able to watch Alex Gray paint would be such an experience. That sounds incredible, right? Yeah, I would also want to know more. About my toxic traits or Alex Gray? I think the Alex Gray. We don't think you have any toxic traits, Uncle Becky. There's no such thing, dude. It's only love exuding from your being. Thanks, kind of you to say. I was homeschooled for 4 years and I was hella awkward. My parents also sheltered me from anything unholy. I was like a fresh pink little goofy kid, fresh from third grade. Oh, bully picking. Get fresh for third grade bully picking. I'm so sorry to hear that, Toasty. You turned out fantastically, dude, if I might say so myself. Looking up Alex Gray. Oh! You don't know who Alex Gray is, Toasty? You're gonna have your mind absolutely melted soon, dude. Alex Gray is a fantastic artist. I want so many of his prints. I want his original, I think, Jesus painting. Or Christ consciousness painting, sorry. That's the one I want. I want the actual one. But it's gonna cost, I don't think I can get it, one. And it would cost like millions, but I want it. It's so cool. Like if you want to like see one of his most amazing works, in my opinion, go look up Alex Gray, Christ Consciousness. It's amazing. What? Tell it. Yeah, I'm also like blown away. I'm like, what? Toasty doesn't know who Alex Gray is? I think he probably has seen his work. He just doesn't know who the artist is. His wife is amazing as well. She's a beautiful creator as well. You're completely right, Aunt B. It's so nice watching them together. How long they've been spending together. How long they've been creating together. And you know what I'm seeing in my mind's eye now as well, Aunt B? That it's going to be the exact same thing for you and Uncle Becky. Years down the line, you're also going to have, all of it as they do. One day I have walls covered in Alex Gray art. Dude, the work they've done with Cosm is amazing. It really is, dude. I genuinely look forward to going to Cosm one day. Dude, he's intense. Listen to his TED Talk. Yeah, his TED Talk was amazing, dude. The whole shaving of half of his head because he had it in a dream and stuff, and it just, I feel so much soul kinship with that man as well. I own the Alex Gray Godhead print, and I love it so much. Yeah, the Godhead print is like what you would very likely see on high doses of psychedelics or DMT specifically as well. Ooh, I love that one. Oh, me too. The Godhead one is fantastic. I have a poster. Cosmic Christ. Cosmic Christ, that's the one, not Christ Consciousness. Thank you, Katie. Cosmic Christ is the one I was thinking about. Thank you so, so much. You correcting me, even though you don't know. It's been 25 minutes and you're still correcting me. I appreciate that. Oh, I know this guy. Yes, I knew you had to know him, Toasty. Boop! And I stood 10 feet from him and his wife while they painted, and Thievery Corporation played on the stage 30 feet away. Dude. That sounds amazing, Uncle Becky. DMT Torah's visualization. Torah's visualization? Oh, yeah, so the Godhead is the DMT Torah's visualization. So instead of it just being a single Taurus, the Taurus feeds into another Taurus, and then each one of those center pieces of the Taurus is the actual Godhead. Love you, PJ. Thank you, my friend. It's so nice to have you here again. Sending you so much good vibes. I think people lose themselves in the constraints of time versus being caught up in the moment. That's what's important and what makes a life. Ooh, man, it's getting cold. I don't think the rain is helping. The passing. Well, it rained yesterday and now it's just cooling the entire place down. The constraint and what's important and what makes life, the moments/memories have a legacy. Big Mechanic, I agree completely, my friend. Lebanese blonde, these paintings are impressive, right, Toasty? They blow my mind, dude. He's like genuinely like art goal vibes for me. It was at a festival in a science and history museum. The festival is called Manifestation Celebration. I like that as well, Uncle Becky, thank you. Damn, no subject matter off limits for this guy, I see. Are you talking about me? You talking about me, Toasty? Maybe. What? Maybe. Love his candor. Oh, you're talking about actual Alex Gray. Yeah, Alex Gray has no chill, dude. Like, he creates works of art that make you feel something, and he doesn't shy away from any subject matter, as you mentioned. There's actually a piece that he has where two individuals are, having sexual intercourse, and witnessing that, and then understanding that that is, present, if you will, if inside of yourself as well, if you're active in sexual intercourse, it can be such a, again, like the perceiver perspective. You realize what these things look like. The sounds absolutely fascinating. Wow, him and his wife are creator superpowers. I agree completely. I think we can have the same superpowers as well, Jovan. We just have to continue getting good. They really are. I follow them all on Instagram as well as the Chapel of Sacred Mirrors account. They make and show off such beautiful art. They really do. How can a sloth visit Haywire Hill? I think it's probably the sloth friend that is also streaming here on Reddit. Like a real sloth? I don't think so. Crippler, hey Melt. Hope everyone here is doing great. I'm doing so well, my friend. Thank you for joining us. How are you doing, Crippler? Haywire style wants more of a virtual tour. Style, more of a virtual tour. Okay, he's on Reddit. Yep. What is 247? Today is day 240 and 74 of actually streaming every single day, my friend. Number of consecutive. Thank you, Edmund. I appreciate that as well. If you don't mind, Toasty, that's what the factor resulted. What was the factor that resulted in them sending you to public school in the third grade? I'm curious. I only slightly disappointed there's not a real sloth. Oh wow, that's amazing. Keep going. It's just have taken a lot of commitment. Yep, it has, friend. It has literally taken my entire life as commitment. This, what we're doing right now, I have completely dedicated my life towards it. So, all of the commitment, my friend. Thank you for joining us. It's amount of days. Yep. Absolutely, but a node and a worthy commitment. A noble and worthy commitment. I love you so much. Thank you, Edmund, for sharing your love as well, my friend. I have no idea, honestly, asking about why his parents sent him back in third grade. Probably because my mom had to get a job. But when my parents moved me around schools every year after that, they didn't like when I made friends who influenced me. Oh, who would have guessed? Kids get influenced by other kids. Guess we have to take you out of the school because clearly these kids I have more influence. I'm so sorry to hear that, Toasty. Melt, I'll share with you again if you didn't get to see it. Please do, Edmund. I would love to. Thank you, Mel. Thank you, Auntie. I appreciate your love so much, my friends. Like, I'm trying to do a mini speed run, but I don't want to get done. I'm just actually cold. Hey, on the Sweat and Smiles Discord, we're going to watch a movie together in 3 hours. Donnie Darko? Ooh, what a good movie Donnie Darko is. It's one of my favorites even. You have me kind of sold, Simon, but in 3 hours it's gonna be 9. And then I'm probably gonna try and head to bed because I want to stream tomorrow morning. So I don't know if I can make it, but to you friends who can make it, please do tune in. Love that movie. Where can I find? The Sweat and Smiles Discord is on Sensane's profile, on SDZ's profile, on Elpuff's profile as well, I think. Where is Elpuff? I've been missing Elpuff so much, actually. Love that movie. Or link. What's up, Melton fam? I hope everyone is having a positive day so far. That a niner, even more positive now that you're here, my friend. Thank you for joining us. Drop an invite to Melt's Discord, please do. You as well. Thanks on B. Okay, will do. Please do. Thank you. It's insane. I try to and can't format it right, apparently. Looking forward to it. It's insane. Thank you, on B. Jovan, I appreciate you reaching out as well. Oh, that touched my heart. Light shining always. Thank you, Scon. I appreciate you being so loving as well, my friend. I look forward to seeing you more. Thank you, Estian. Your stream has lifted my spirits today. Uncle Becky is right. We are light engineers, keepers of the flame, druids of love. You. No, you, dude. Every single one of us, friends, we can make this world a better place. We just have to continue pushing forwards. I have a passion, longing. I have a passive longing for death as well. I think, coming to the point where you start to align yourself with positivity in the way we do, it usually is kind of followed by understanding that we are impermanent, at least in my opinion, in some ways. And I won't, project and say all of us have a longing for death sometimes, but I feel it definitely is a part of our natures as well. When you become spiritually aligned, there becomes or at least with it comes a fascination of what comes next, because you have experienced what can be next, if you will. I love you, Toasty, so much, my friend. Love you, dude. We love you so, so much, Toasty. It's okay to talk about it. It's such a hard thing to express to people, huh? Our little secrets we keep and suffer with. It's difficult for people to understand those sort of things, dude. Unfortunately. Know, though, that you're not suffering alone anymore, Toasty. Now we have one another, at least. You make me laugh, it's insane. I tell everyone about it. I love the thought of death, lol. I wouldn't say actually, I'm fascinated by death. I wouldn't, technically it's still the same, but not exactly the same. Normalize feeling. I think we are trying to, insane, actively, dude, little by little. If anyone cries and doesn't celebrate right after for my death, I'm personally gonna come back to exchange hands on their chins. I'm just gonna Sensei dies. I innocently start up a stream. Sensei's dead. No, dude. I'm gonna shed a few tears for you as well, dude. I'll still dance, I'll still dance. I'll still celebrate your life. But I'm still gonna be sad, bruh. Still gonna be sad. Celebrate you, but still gonna be sad, man. Maybe if I cry, I'll drop like a single tear on your corpse. Chunk! Just sits up straight. It's like, bruh, I did warn you. Gives me a knock, drops back into the bed. I'm like, fuck. Why couldn't you have stayed? A lot of what you say is similar to the psychological spiritual text, A Course in Miracles. Have you read it? I haven't, my friend, but that sounds amazing. Thank you for suggesting something to read, though. Nacho gonna be your day. I appreciate you so much. I'm just so curious on what death is like. I love life, but I love life, but what my own death will be like is so interesting to me. Personally, the exact same feeling, Aiden. Exact same feeling. The topic of death shouldn't be taboo. Stay curious, beautiful beings. You're completely right. Thank you. I'll stay beautiful as long as you do as well, Jovan. Normalize feeling, even if you don't feel in the same way. Exactly. On B. We should be willing to feel badly about things as well, as much as we're willing to feel good about things. New friends, feel so good. Feels so nice to have you here as well, Scan. This is genuinely a blessed co-creation. I've always also had a passive longing for death, but I've never heard it put in those words before. I think those words make it a little easier to bring this subject up to others. Yeah, like telling someone I am both okay and kind of looking forward to dying can be a little bit of a what? Yikes. But a passive longing for death kind of sounds as a nice way to say it, if you will. It really makes you think about the responsibility of bringing life into this world. It really does. It really, really does, Toasty. It's kind of difficult sometimes, man. Well put, absolutely true. Definitely, right now, my girlfriend and I are mostly in the boat of not doing so for a few reasons. It's a hard decision, though. It really is, dude. Someday, we all will paint a giant shared canvas. Yes, we will. I'm thoroughly looking forward to that as well, Toasty. Alex Gray, Bardo Being. That's my personal favorite. I don't think I've seen Bardo Being before, Cody. Thank you for sharing with us as well. Maybe you can post a link in the Discord or a photo. Mariah, good morning, my friend. Thank you for joining us. Are you a hippie? 100%, Shark Zoo. A highly intellectual person pursuing enlightenment. I'm happy that Sensei is like Nia. Nia. Estiana's knee, a hippie knee. I hip nooit. Niet één keer nie. To me, every time I read the word hippie, the analogy or the abbreviation comes to mind. Highly intellectual person pursuing inner enlightenment, and then I agree with that. That's a nice scarf, bro. Thank you, friend. It was a gift from a friend. I am dreaming of a cloud-based living digital virtual canvas. That's gonna be a thing. Oh, absolutely. It might already be a thing actually in VR. He's a Meltmore. That's true. That is true. I am a Meltmore indeed, that a niner. I appreciate you letting our friend know as well. I'll share the photo in your Discord. I could have rubbed that man on the head. Well, if his 6'3" Jamaican shaman bodyguard wouldn't have been there. Oh goodness. That sounds like a monster of a man. Eat red meat! I've forgotten your name, dude. It's been too long, man. It's been way too long. We've missed you so much, my friend. Thank you for joining us again. We love you as well. Have a wonderful day, loves. Love you so, so much. I got a picture with him. Lucky fish on beam. I want to see that as well. I love you guys. Thank you. Thank you so, so much for joining me, for sharing this space with me for as long as you did. If anything, I'll say it again. Take this with you, friends. You are loved, lovable, loving, and worthy of love forever and always. I love you. I appreciate you. I'll see you again tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone.